Good morning, and thanks for watching my part 3 of sewing the Christina sports bra. I know there's only a couple of you in there right now, but that's okay. I had the wrong time. Apparently I had it at 12, and my husband is watching to make sure I don't really screw up. So he noticed, and he trying to watch the stream. Yes, and we adjusted the time. So, again, this is Emily, this is me, hi. Okay, so let's look at the table and pick up right where we left off. And here we go. So here is where we left off last week with the Christina sports bra. So I had us basted together so you can check the fit. Now, I didn't really think this 100% through, because what I should have had us do is probably baste the lining together, because if you made any changes on here, let's say you had to take this side in just a little bit more, what you're going to end up having to do is when you pull this right side out, well, it's going to be adjusted on the wrong boob. So you want to make your changes on the pattern, take out your basting stitches here, and then make sure you're adjusting the correct size. Side. Otherwise, you could end up making the side that you want to be bigger, you make that one smaller just by accident. So that's something that I realized when I was like, oh wait, we probably did that slightly wrong. So we're ready to go. Today we're going to cover the, I'll switch back. Let's see, we're here. We have a couple new cameras, so we're testing out the new cameras. I really like the new camera that's going down at the table. We're working on our setup. I think the sound is a whole lot better than that first week as well. So we're going to finish up the seams on the bra today. So the princess seam, side seams, on both the lining and the self, and we're going to do that at the overlock. Now, if you don't have an overlock or a serger, you can use a lightning stitch. And you want to be careful. This fabric can stretch. So if you're not really accustomed to working with stretch fabric and you're using like a home machine with a lightning stitch, what you might want to do is you may want to baste it together first. So you could actually baste it, do a kind of a quick hand baste. If you do a machine baste, just be aware that your stitches could end up popping after, once you wear it. You can also put a little bit of tissue paper on underneath kind of what you're working on to keep your machine from eating it too much. But I'm going to show you a couple tricks of what I do with my machine. So let's see. Yay, we got 2 people watching, 3 people watching. So yay, thanks for watching. So we're going to do that. We're also going to be putting together our waistband. So our waistband pieces, and yeah, we did that on the fold. And then we're going to put together our strap. We're going to then attach, we're actually going to do a bunch of different things today. We're going to do our neckline elastic so we can get a nice, and I probably should be showing you the other camera. We're going to put on, oops, did I have the wrong one? Yeah. Okay. We're going to be putting on the neckline elastic just on the front, and I'm going to show you how we can make it roll to the inside so it doesn't come out. Then we're going to attach the straps to the back and then do a final adjustment on the front before we really start putting this thing together. We are not going to be attaching the band today. We're going to be attaching the band tomorrow or next week. And when we do that, we're going to end up doing a little burrito. We're going to pull everything in through the armhole, one of the armholes, so we can clean finish the bottom, have a clean finished neck. And so the only thing that's going to be slightly raw is going to be the armhole that's going to be folded under. So, and if you are really irritated by things that, anything on the skin, what you could even do is you could end up going in with fold over elastic and finishing the armholes on this, but we're not doing that right now. We're going to be using kind of just a 1/4 inch elastic. If you have my kits, I think I sent 8mm. And actually that one might even work better because it will force the roll to the inside just a little bit more. We have my wide plush band elastic, which we're using for both the strap and the waistband. And I'm trying to think what else right now we have to do. So my husband's gonna have to come in here and move all the cameras. So at this point, if you guys want to, let me flip over.
Do any questions?
Yeah, we can take a couple questions now before we kind of go. Oh, wait, actually, there was one other thing I wanted to address. One of the girls was, I know she, who actually made up the sports bra, she felt that the back, and actually, wrong camera. Am I back on the right camera? Okay. She felt that the back was slightly too high for her. It hit her kind of on a bone that was uncomfortable. So if you want to change the height on here, what you can do just is kind of fold this top part in and then measure how much you've taken in. Now, if you've made your straps a whole lot longer, it'll be a little bit easier to do. So what you can do is here is, I don't think I have any tape. Do you have tape, Emily? Go find me some tape. There was some tape. She keeps walking off with it. So my husband's gonna start getting ready to move. You can actually move that camera if we need to. Are we moving that one? No. Okay. So let's say we want to make this shorter. And this is for you, Jennifer, because I know you wanted to have this a little shorter. So this is going to show you how to do it. So you can shorten it here how much ever you need. So what I ended up doing is I just shortened it by an entire inch because that's a ½ an inch on the fold. Yep, exactly, ½ an inch on the fold. So we shorten this by a whole inch. So you would want to make sure your straps are at least an inch longer. But if you're going to kind of follow what we're doing, we're already making our straps a little bit longer. You would just want to make them slightly longer than that. So then I'm going to take a piece of paper behind it so we can then come in here and adjust the shape. So if you want to, you can do this. And then that can be your new lowered back. And it doesn't change anything else about the fit. It's just going to lower and bring this down an entire inch. If you need to do it a little bit more, you can. You may end up having to come in and dip a little bit down in the back. That's also fine, or it can almost even be straight, more of a straight line. So this is really an easy change that you can make if you do need to move this down a little bit. Okay, husband, I need you to come back.
Now I can do questions.
So he's going to come back and help me move the cameras. This is just kind of a... It might be a little bit of chaos because we're testing these cameras, and if we really like them, we're going to get more. So we actually have them set up at the different stations. So I've got 2 sewing machines that I'd be sewing at. So we might end up getting 2 more of this camera and setting it up over there. So he's still moving that one. I guess this can be a...
Oops, sorry.
Oh, sorry, he jiggled the camera a little bit. Okay, while he's doing that, it's going to take him a few minutes. Let's look at a couple of the new fabrics I just got that are going to be in the warehouse. This is a really nice soft tricot. It actually has just a little bit of stretch. I've got a light pink, I've got a rose pink, I think I've got some black and some red. And you can see it has a tiny bit of stretch, so it's probably not appropriate for a bra unless you're going to be lining it with a stable lace or have a stable lace on it. This would actually be really nice because this is actually nylon. I could see this being used for, you know, a slip or a nightgown. It could actually be really, really nice.
Oh, that's a really pretty one.
You want to see a really, well, hold on. I've got these in order. So I've got a couple colors in that. Then I'm also going to have this tulle. Now I always see the names interchanged between tulle and cup lining. The tulle I'm calling tulle is like basically 100% stable in all directions. And it's actually very, very soft. So it's not going to be scratchy. So you could use this for a cup. Now I also have sheer cup lining, which has a tiny bit, okay, let's get through that pile. And I guess my camera's gonna go away in just a second. I also have cup lining. And so the cup lining is also really, really soft. It just has, as you can see, it has a tiny bit of give in one direction. So you could use this as that sheer cup lining. You know, it does have probably, it does, I don't know. I'd have to kind of test to see exactly how much stretch it has. But this is that cup lining, and I've got this in about 8 different colors. So this is just a sneak preview, just while my husband's moving the cameras. As you're going, who's watching? We have 8 people watching. Hey!
9.
Okay, are you ready to move that camera? Okay, so he's gonna move the camera.
Microphone first.
Oh, the microphone, okay. Well,
you can go over
I can still talk even though it won't be totally in sound, so I think, oh, and there's also
Waistbands.
a whole bunch of really nice dazzle. So it's closest to the stuff that I have that's dazzle, but it's not technically dazzle. I think they called it Veritex or something. But it's really nice. I've got it in black, white, and cream and ivory, like a cream color. And this is really good for bra cups and bras also. So this looks just like, actually, just like the bra that I'm wearing right now. It's hot fabric. Okay, you're gonna take the camera now?
What, you're gonna go over there and
Okay,
you're gonna work.
I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna work. So let me get all my stuff. All right, did I bury everything underneath here? Let me take the camera. I gotta get stuff. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be calling you to come help me. Okay. And we can
Can I
switch
say number
to okay. Ow! I just stubbed my toe.
Where?
Can we direct some light over here? Maybe can you rotate the computer just a little bit, honey, so I can see what I'm looking at. Okay. Ow.
I can press the buttons. I think we're gonna stay on 2 for a while.
So, okay, is that a little bit better on light? Might be a little bit better.
Not really.
So, tulle versus cup lining, I mean, tulle is something that I've always known that doesn't stretch, so that's why I'm calling that one tulle. And I've looked at a lot of different people. You want to flip to 3 so I can talk? So they can see me? So, hey. So I've actually been looking also, and I think that really somebody decided that whatever they have is going to be either tulle or lining, and I was back and forth which ones I was going to call, because some people call, the terms are used so interchangeably that there's really no 100% answer with what it is. And these didn't come with any type of instruction manual with them. So in my experience, tulle it's a net. It's a net that doesn't stretch. And that's what tulle usually is. So to call what I'm calling tulle made the most sense to me. Cup lining is something that would have a little bit of give to it, because you would be using the cup lining to line lace, line other, you could even double layer it. So it's possible if you have a recommendation on who you actually see defines them, let me know, because I want to make sure when I put them online that I'm calling them the right things. But that's kind of where I'm coming from. So a lining means that you're lining it with something, and it usually has a little bit more give. If you're just using the sheer cup lining on the cup on its own, I would probably do, almost the 2 layers, one in one direction, one in the other. But I would have to play around with it, and you guys would have to play around with what I have. And those that are my patrons, so if you want to become a patron at my Patreon, I'll probably send out a whole bunch of different samples of those to them next month. And you actually have until, I think, January 31st to get in on my February bag. So that way you guys can give me a little bit more feedback on it. Okay, so, yep, get it? Here we go. So I am over here at my overlock. I did not need to make any changes on this. All good. I need my light. Okay, and so I'm actually going to be sewing this with black thread because I sew everything with black thread because it is easy enough to sew.
It's a little bit dark.
I know it's a little dark. We don't have a blind there. We have some. No, you can't change those lights, honey. So, honey, move. Can you mess with the lighting a little bit?
I'm gonna mess with focus.
Okay. So the seam allowance on these is 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna change my focus. So hopefully you can see. My husband, you're gonna have to monitor this since I can't see. And so I'm actually able to trim off 1/8 of an inch on here because it's a 1/4 inch strip. Oh, and it's missing the straight stitch. Okay, hold on. I thought I fixed it. Oh, that's the one that I couldn't get it in there. Hold on. Get my glasses. It's probably too much. It's the weird outside overcastness, I think, is part of the issue.
Better now. That didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, it's like we need light there. You know, we may need to get another one of those blinds like that we have for that window.
How about let's turn
Oh,
that
I
one?
can't see.
Turn that one.
That's not the problem. The camera's on adjust. I should have turned it off.
Huh?
I should have turned the auto adjust off on camera.
Oh, it's better now.
Is it still adjusting?
No, I'm not touching it, so it's not adjusting.
Okay. My straight thread was not sewing, so it wasn't even hitting that. So I'm gonna start this again. But you want to make sure that it doesn't really pucker. And my basting stitch, that one I did to test the fit, is perfect for this. So. Okay. So nice, beautiful stitch.
It's really beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful stitch. Yeah,
I like it.
you do like it. Oh, that's good. See if anybody has made any comments, if we need to answer any questions. So again, I'm just doing the princess seam. Make sure you don't get your fabric stuck underneath it, because it's really easy to do. Ah, it just decided to eat itself. I'll have to trim that off. Okay, technical difficulties.
Can you come and say the comics?
Huh? Oh, let's see. Oh, there's a... Okay, yeah, definitely share that camera side, focusing on the lamp head.
Try and adjust it.
Okay.
It's really hard to see. Unfortunately,
Okay.
it's light here.
So I gotta clip all this because it decided to eat my trimmings. To make sure. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, this is, and I'm not redoing this, so just, hopefully it won't make my seam a little bit too bulky. Okay. So this is supposed to have a manual focus, that's what we're trying to get worked out. Okay, so, I think I may need to get a new blade on this machine, which is why it was eating it. Okay. And sometimes I don't even clip them. I just kind of continue with the next one. And this one I didn't quite cut off enough, so I still have that basting stitch. If you really, once you've sewn, if you got that basting, you can just pull it real hard and that stitch will come right out. So it just pulls right out because it's basting anyways. So here, this one's showing a little bit too.
When can I do it?
When can you do it?
Can I do it the next time?
This one I only did partially. honey? Can you, okay. No. Okay, so we've got the body together. I also need to do that for the lining. So now this is, you guys are going to be like, wow, how do you do this? I'm going to do this with only 2 pins. So I think I mentioned this, and this is black, so hopefully it's not going to be too hard to see. I'm sure it is. What I do is I've got my right side here, my right side there, my right side here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to take these 2 pieces, this corner meets this corner, throw it right there, put 1 pin at the beginning, and then take the end of the curve and take that at the end, and then as I go around, I'm actually going to just do it as I go. Now, I know before in the other video I actually showed you guys
how you do it?
yep, how to pin it. So let's get that started. Get my blade up. And also what I like to do is once I got it under the foot, I can use the needle or the pin to help kind of lead it into the machine. So a lot of times you'll see me actually using that. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to walk them equally so it's over the curve, making sure that nothing is getting underneath it. Like I said, it's a little hard to see because this one is black on black. And then when I get towards the end, if I see, oh, I've got a little extra, well, this is going to go underneath the breast, so it's going to be a little less noticeable. So then I'm going to take it and kind of stretch it to the edges and finish up my stitch. Yep, and then we're down here at the end, and there we go. So I got it. So it looks fairly good. Might pucker a little bit here. What I've actually been doing with these is I've actually been doing a top stitch, which I can show you. Actually, I'll probably, you're in the way. What, honey? No? Okay, that's the same comment. No one else has commented, honey. Okay. 8 people watching? Okay. So now this side, I'm going to do the same thing. That goes to over here. But by all means, please baste it together. So if you need me to pin it all the way around, well, that's like what I did last time. Like I said, I usually, as long as they're going through the machine fairly even, when you get to the end, which is kind of at the bottom, then you kind of force them to match. But you know, hand basting, if you're a beginner and you're really not that great, or you don't feel that you don't have that confidence to do that, tuck that under with my needle.
That seems really hard to do.
Yes, it seems very hard to do. But what I'm focusing on is I'm focusing on the inch that's about ready to go into the machine, and I'm aligning that up and using my fingers to guide it. And I just cut off 1/4 of an inch right there. Oops.
The bra will look beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Are you making 2? Oh,
no, this is the lining. This is the lining, honey.
So that's...
Okay, plus this is a lining, so it's all that, not as noticeable. But there we go. See, I didn't get any pleats in there or anything. Now, if you're going to top stitch this, and you can totally do that, and once, because we've got the first stitch there already, I've actually... Honey, stop standing right there, okay. I've actually never really had that much of an issue. I think with one of the sports bras I had, the stitches might have popped, but it popped in one spot. I stitched over it, and I've washed them a million times since, and it's not been an issue. So if you don't like the seams kind of flopping back and forth, what I would do is figure out which direction you want them to go. So let's say on this one, they like to roll because there's more bulk if it goes under. So on the outside layer, what I would usually do is I would top stitch. And it can just be a straight stitch, but you want to make sure that it's, you know, you've tested, kind of give it a little tug as you're stitching it. That way it doesn't pucker and you have a little give on the fabric. And so for this one, I might put the seam allowance towards the center front, but then on the lining, I'm gonna do the exact opposite. And that way it gives you, it lessens the bulk that's right at the seam. So then you have, your seams are kind of then sitting side by side. So you have the bulk on this side and the bulk on this side, and then it equals itself out so it's a little bit better. So I would have to do that at my straight stitch machine, but I'm still working on these. Do you guys want me to do that? It probably will be out of frame because we weren't planning to have that one, that camera set up today.
Which one?
That one.
This one up here?
Yes, but we would be using that machine that's right there. Okay, so I'm gonna now sew the side seams together. Again, everything is that, and even here, even though it's a short little bit, I usually will do it again. At least put it at the beginning. I don't know where my other pins went. They, I think, rolled onto the floor. Now, if you have an overlock machine and you have to get real close to it, something that a lot of times I have to do is I actually raise the blade up so I can get it underneath the blade before I start sewing. Now, I'm trying to remember, I think home machines are a little bit different, a little bit easier to handle. Okay, so we have that. I'm losing my pins.
I'm trying to find them.
It's okay, honey, there.
I'm not finding any.
Okay, once it
Christina,
slides
your
all over the
foot.
place. What, honey?
There's nothing underneath your foot.
It probably fell in my lap.
Oh, look.
Okay. Okay, so we've got the two pieces in here.
Look. Oh, I got three.
Hmm?
All three of them.
Okay. Can you please move out of the way? I'm going to scoot over here and I'm going to do a quick top stitch that will be out of frame. So can you hit camera 3 for me, Emily? Okay, so this is my other machine. Oh. Okay, and I'm not on an actual chair. I probably need a regular chair. And look.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Why it's doing what?
It was like,
Oh, probably because I moved something. Okay, get my foot up. So I'm just gonna do, I'm not gonna do any back stitch. I'm gonna just stitch right on top of that seam, trying to pull it flat. And I don't need it that big. Really? Something's not happy. Oh, nope, it's not happy. I might not be doing the top stitch on this one. Let's see.
do you need these?
No. I will try that again. It's eating my fabric.
Yeah, I'll bring them to I'm searching everywhere. Something. Searching for pins.
I did not sew that very straight at all. Okay, so what I did, oh, get the other one. What is it? It's frozen. Hold on. We're getting it. Hold on. come back?
Yeah.
Give me the other. Did I knock anything? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I did the one side. And this one is going to be for me, so I'm not going to do the lining, but I am going to do this one on the other side. So I've got the one side top stitch, the other one will be real quick, and then I'll be right back in frame. So.
Yeah.
We'll get this all set up by next week because we will be doing on both machines.
A lot?
Well, we're going to be using both machines next week for sure. I forgot that I might recommend the top stitch.
Are you mad at
Emily, don't touch me with that.
Stop.
Please stop it.
Stop.
Who's mad at?
Okay. Get off out of my seat. Okay, back over here. So this actually should be fairly fine. Like I said, I've never had them really stitch, and this stitch is kind of on the small side, so it gives me a little bit of room. So this way it'll lay nice and flat. And I'm not one of those people, I don't care if my seams show through my clothes. I really don't. So let's set that to the side, and let's deal with the waistband. All we're really doing for this right now is we are going to find our right sides and sew these together.
How do you know which one is the right?
Well, they're identical. Oh, which side is the right side? Well, you can see they kind of roll. You on the right camera? So they kind of roll to the back side, so that's how you're going to know what's the right side and what's the wrong side. Okay.
Yeah, lined up.
Yep, got it lined up. Trim off 1/8 of an inch.
No fear, Mom.
And if you end up cutting a large 1/8 of an inch, it really doesn't make a difference because you're working with stretch fabric. So an 1/8 of an inch on stretch fabric is not a biggie. Okay, so we've got our waistband already. And honestly, I'm going to wait to do the elastic part on this for next week when we actually finish the whole band, because that's pretty easy to do. So we've got the waistband set to the side. Now can you get me some of the fat elastic, honey? We have the strap. Now you can do fully encased straps.
I like it.
Okay. Can you get out of the way so I can see the cameras? Okay.
It feels nice.
So, the way I like to do it is you can cut 4. I like to cut 2 because I like to do this other thing where it wraps the elastic. So then you kind of have the brushed side on the back, and I just like it's a clean finish that you don't have to worry about the seams ending up all over the place. So I've got just a big length. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the machine. I'm actually going to start sewing on this first, right on the edge. You don't want to cut your elastic. So once you get that started, then you want to take, so you've got your right side and your wrong side. You put your right side up next to it. You slide that right to the edge. And actually on this, I don't think I even cut off the elastic at all. I really just butt it up to the edge. So I'm just attaching the waistband, or the strap, directly to the elastic.
Tiny bit.
Huh?
Only a tiny bit is good.
Yeah, well, it's just trimming off where I was bad at cutting. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so right where I've got that one finished, I've got this other strap that I can do right below it. So I keep sewing because I'm all about the efficiency when you sew. And so then we do the next one. Woo, cut a little elastic. Not supposed to cut the elastic. Cause the whole elastic to fail eventually. And then, can you give me the scissors that are over there? Don't step on the cord. Scissors, honey, you're not going to get your frame, okay? And you have enough of this stuff that You can be a little generous with it. Okay. So I finished the one side, so then they're all attached here. And then I'm going to start on the other side. So I'm going to start stitching just a little bit so I got the elastic. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that this basically does not go in stretched. And so it doesn't twist. So you kind of lay it like that so it's flat. And then you just kind of, so you make like a little pleat and then you line this up. So there's no twisting. It's just straight across. Now here,
That would be pretty
I'm
hard.
going to use a pin to kind of hold that in place before I get to it. And I have to be real careful because this blade will actually cut my pin. So I kind of push that in, and did I just chip the end? I don't know. I might have cut the end of that pin off just now. And then I go down and just sew this to the side.
You're putting blue.
And after I did like the fully enclosed strap, I figured this out, and I was like, you know what, this actually, I like this like way a whole lot better. For me, it just looked nicer to me. Plus it was soft. But if you have really sensitive skin, I mean, it's possible that the elastic itself might irritate you. You know, fully encase them. Huh? There's a question? My serger is broken right now. I'm assuming this can be done with the lightning. Yes. Yeah, and you don't really want your strap to be that stretchy. I mainly use this elastic for comfort. So the zigzag would actually probably work fairly fine on it because the zigzag, Emily, move, I can't see. So the zigzag, once you see the next thing I do, so I'll clip them apart. You want to make sure they're not twisting too much. This has got a little bit of a twist. I'm not really too concerned. Can you get me the loop turner? Where's the loop turner? I'm not sure where that loop turner is. Did you find one? It's okay. I'm just going to pull it inside out. It's pretty easy since it stretches.
I'm not finding one.
Okay, well, I used to have one, and check the drawer in that machine. I have like 6 of them.
This.
It's like, can anyone ever find what their tools that they're looking for?
No,
It'll be
not
faster
this one.
before she... Well, we gotta fix the elastic on Daddy's mask, so we're gonna have to find that, the loop turner. So please keep looking for it. Did you really look in that drawer? There's a lot of stuff in that drawer. Or did you just kind of look on top? It would probably be in the bottom. It's vibrating. Got it. Okay. So you can see that this makes a really, really nice clean finish. So even if you have the zigzag stitches, it's not going to be seen anywhere. You might see like there's a little bit of pulling on here, but you know, and actually, yeah, if you do the zigzag, it's got to be kind of right on the edge so it pulls correctly. So I made this strap so it has the exact amount of fabric that you need to be able to turn it like that. So my daughter has failed looking for the loop
I
turner.
want to do that.
Huh? No, you're too slow. Yes, you are.
It looks like a finger. It really
Okay.
does.
Standing right there, you're blocking my view of the cameras. Thank you, honey. I know you want to get involved, and I know that you're upset that the camera does not show you at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that might work best. That's kind of and almost there. There we go. Okay. So now you see that there's also, we have angles on these straps. And this one might have gotten a little bit.
Mommy, tell me viewers.
Yes, okay. I see that. So I'm going to just trim my elastic down to kind of where the fabric is. And And so they should kind of be in the same angle. This one twisted a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do is, we want them in this angle. So I'm going to get them so they're in that angle.
I think there's like a question.
Let me just trim this a little bit down. So that way we've got the angles. Now the angles are designed to work with the necklines. What, honey? And you can do a zigzag off the top edge. Yeah, doing full finish. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got the straps ready, and hopefully you liked how that's finished because it's also nice and soft because the elastic is really
Feel
plush.
it.
Okay. Then we're going to take. Oh, go get me the skinny elastic. It's over there. The skinny elastic. Okay, so what we're also going to do is we're going to attach the necklines together right now. And so I'm going to put it so my right sides are facing each other. This one I am going to pin. I'm going to pin the fabric together around this neckline. So my assistant may need to go get me some more pins.
Okay.
I think I put some on the table.
A lot.
Okay. Probably just need about 5 pins. Yeah, I did cut off the end of that. Okay, come on. It's just Emily. Ow. Okay, that's not how you hand someone pins. Okay. So I'm basically pinning the two together. And if we're not going to be clean finishing the waistband, then you could also do this to the armhole, but I prefer to do it that way. To just do it on the neckline so we can finish the armhole. Now the elastic, we're going to be putting the elastic on the side of the shell. The shell is the outside layer. And the reason we're going to do that is because it's going to help force the roll to the inside. Emily, get that out of my face, please. So when you actually have this finished in here, and so let's say you've got that 8mm elastic, when it's finished, that elastic is actually going to be leaving a little bit extra, so you're going to have a natural roll to the inside. So actually that 8mm elastic is probably better to use than the 6 or the 7mm. But what I always do when I do elastics, and this is my trick, is that I always start my elastics in the machine. And so you should have a lot extra to start with. So you want to get it going, so you got a feel and you've got that stitch attached to this. Now I do this whether it's on the straight stitch, a zigzag, or the overlock, because it gets it caught in there. And then the only thing you really have to manage when you're starting to sew is the fabric, because you've already got the elastic in there. So then what I try and do is I will then use the elastic to hold down the neckline. Now it's up to you. You do not have to trim the neckline down. We can actually make up for that underneath the arm, in the armhole, because we did make seam allowances everywhere to be 3/8. I'm actually just going to stitch this to the edge without trimming anything off. So I'm now feeding the elastic slowly as I'm going around stitching the pieces together. Now if it's easier for you to go and stitch the necklines together then put the elastic on, you can do that as well. I just want to take it easy around that neckline. And just make sure you do not cut this elastic, because anytime you cut the elastic it loses the integrity of the elastic, and then it could end up stretching too much and you lose any of the stability factors that are in it. So okay, I got my neckline, can cut my elastic off. So that way we've got that clean finish, and when it rolls to the inside, look, even with that smaller elastic, it rolls to the inside, so we won't have that lining peeking out in the front. So there we go. And if you want to do a top stitch on that, you're welcome to. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so the last thing that we want to do is we want to address the straps. Because we made the straps a little bit longer, we want to decide, well, how much shorter to make them. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start on the back. And I'm going to make sure I can see the front as well. Honey, please stop making all that noise. And then we're going to look at our strap itself. So you want to look at where the straps are. So the straps are here. If we were to attach that kind of to this side, so I'm kind of lining up that angle to that, and then you flip it over, is this going in the correct direction? And to me, yes, this is going in that correct direction, because then that can sew in there like that. So I'm just going to pin that. And that was just luck that I picked that side. So I just lined up the angle of the strap position to the actual strap, and then I'm testing it out. So I'm doing it this way on this side, and that seems to actually lay correctly. Now let's say, and I'm just going to have to do this one backwards so you can see what happens if you put it in the other direction. So I'm going to line up in this direction and then pull the strap. Well, so that's the same way, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. I did test at one point, and then the direction of the strap does not go in one direction. And I'm not sure. Me trying to do an example. Excuse me. Here, we'll try this. Try it this way. Do the same thing. Actually, that might be the better way to do it. It's in the manual. I'm just not looking at the manual right now. So then that kind of comes at that angle. So you can see it in the front. But it goes more in that angle. Now, I think I did that one right. Because if you do it the other angle, it's designed for the scoop back. So I'm just gonna play with this for a second. Maybe it doesn't matter at all. Let's see if no. Okay, so then that wants to force it in that direction. And so it could end up causing some weird twisting. Let's see. Okay, so we can see how it's supposed to look and how it could end up doing. So that goes in that opposite direction. Actually, it looks like either way could work. So this one just sets it a little bit further in. I really thought this was in one directional. So I'm sorry if this is supposed to kind of go around the neck. This is in the wider. So feel free to play around with this, but baste it in first to double check. The way that I'm doing it is like this. So the angle is going in this direction, so it's going kind of towards the back of the neck. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually not going to be attaching the front. I'm going to attach it at the back. So I'm back here. I've got my angles for that back. So hopefully you can see. Okay. So we have my two angles. These are going to come right to that center back. And this one's going to come all the way, so the two are butting next to each other, sitting next to each other. So just like that. And we want to clean finish that, excuse me, that with the back. So we've already got the front connected. So we're going to have to make sure that we're gonna get it sewn in the right direction. So this needs to be on the outside. So we're going to make sure I'm doing this correctly, because that's gonna be sandwiched in. It would be sandwiched like that, right? So we make sure that everything is lining up in the same direction, so we see all that. So I'm kind of doing, this is kind of like one of those little burrito rolls. So this is stage 1 of burrito roll. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to fold that under, and I've got my hand holding them together. And then I just pull them to the side. So I'm going to do that again, for those of you that didn't quite see that. Okay, so you're like, ah! Okay, get everything inside. There's a whole lot of stuff we're looking at. Okay, we've got this piece in here. We're making sure that everything, we see everything visibly all around. So we know that this needs to be finished here. So we're going to then take this piece, kind of do a little burrito roll to the inside. So I'm kind of holding those seams with my fingers underneath, and then we pull it to the side.
Mommy,
Yeah?
question.
There's a question? Okay. Let me stick that there. Let's see. I have a cover stitch machine. Would that be a good option to top stitch? Yes. Yes, you can certainly use the cover stitch for the top stitch. I did that on one of mine, but I was extra lazy when I did it, so I actually cover stitched through both layers because I just wanted a quick fix. I was tired of them moving.
Another question about the same one.
Okay, just someone saying that they're catching up.
No.
Oh wait, oh, what is one? Okay, I have a cover. We're going to talk about putting sliders for adjustable straps. I can show that. Let me get these ones attached, and then I can go. Let me get this attached. Hopefully, you've been in frame, seeing that the whole time.
No.
You haven't been able to.
Oh, no.
Some.
There was some stuff you were showing us that.
Okay. Well, you need to tape my desk too, so I can, or the sewing machine, so I know what's in frame. I said all corrections we'll make. So we're really trying to upgrade all this stuff. So, do I need to explain what I just did to do this little burrito roll? Please just comment and let me know. I'll hang out for just a second. Oh, hold on. Don't stand in front of the string, okay? So, if you guys are good, just go ahead and, let me know if I'm good to go or you want me to redo that. See any comments yet, but I know that the live stream's about 30 seconds behind. Okay, I'm just going to assume we're all good to go so we can continue moving on. So after I did my little burrito roll, I'm going to line these edges up together. So I've got that strap there inside. So I've got a whole bunch of pins at this point kind of coming in. Now this would be a good place you could do a straight stitch first to kind of hold everything in place, and I actually I may end up doing that. Everything's moving on me. What, honey? They're good? Okay. Okay, so I'm pinning this all in. It's important to get the strap in there, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the straight stitch machine and stitch the straps in place onto the shell liner or shell space first. So that way when I sew the black on it, these things are wanting to move and they really need to kind of come and almost cross over. So something's not lined up right. Probably because I've moved. Yes, everything's moved over. But I'm keeping that black thing in there so I can figure out where that goes next. Okay, are you putting some markers down for me, honey? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do a quick stitch. Oh, right here. Huh? What, me? That is. Oh, this was on the whole time. Oops. switch for stream
Yes.
for a second? Okay. So I'm actually just gonna stitch this strap in here, just so it doesn't move on us, because this fabric is fun and slippery. I'm not trying to get the best stitch in the world, so it's skipping stitches on me, but I don't care. Okay, back over here. How did I not even get that in the right center? That's not even centered. Oh, fun. And give me my seam ripper. There should be a seam ripper up on the table. That's okay. That ripped easily because I did a basting stitch. Two assistants today. How do you guys get your significant others to help out with your sewing? So I know I'm doing this in a kind of a really strange order, but you will see very shortly why I'm doing it in this order. So this is not the order that's in the instructions. This is my revised way. This is actually how I've been making mine. Okay, so we've got that V there. So I need to have this, so almost like it is, so 3/8 of an inch away from the edge over here. That's where that needs to start. 3/8 of an inch over there. So then they're not actually hitting that center V. Get this one over here, 3/8 coming from that edge. That's the one I cut the tip off on the machine. So you actually have kind of a little V shape in there. So where we stitch it at that 3/8, it actually will be open. Okay.
Mommy,
Yeah.
someone told you something.
I loved it when you made little blunders. Oh yes, I make lots of blunders.
What are blunders?
That means I did oopsies. Oopsies.
I'm gonna go back.
I'm not perfect. I've been sewing my whole life, and
Headphones on.
I'm not perfect for sure.
I'll do it.
And I just stitched over. Ah! Okay, I can fudge this. Okay, I'll have to fudge this because I just stitched over this. Okay, I can keep most of that stitch. I just have to get this fold off. Okay.
You're out of frame.
I'm out of frame. Oh, I'm out of frame. Okay, so I had a little fold there. I fixed it. Okay, so now I've got this piece again. So I can line this one up a little bit better. So I'm gonna find, so those can come out. I can find the tip of that V, stick that right there in the middle to hold that together. Bring this all to the edge. And this might also be a good one that you could actually straight stitch as well. I am going to just go ahead and overlock them because we do have that straight stitch I did on the other side. It'll just make it a little bit more secure. Now I have, after multiple washes, have had my straps actually start to come off, and I think it's on some of the ones that I did not stitch. So I would actually recommend going in and actually doing a nice stitch with both the sides together with a straight stitch, and then going and clean finishing. And actually, technically, you don't even need to go in and clean finish it because it's going to be hidden between the layers. So So you could get away with just doing a straight stitch. So now I am going to, hopefully not screw up, stitch straight across. I'm going to go straight across the V, like that. And then I'm going to come back on this side and come straight across this V. Okay, so we've clean finished that bit. You can see that my stitching, wow, okay. I think I'm actually going to need to go in there and actually do a stitch because I don't think I cut off enough because I know I stitched that at 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to do that again. My stitch is visible. Off. Much better. Okay, did that a little bit better. A little bit better. So that way we have clean finished that strap point in the back. Now the reason I wanted to do this is that now you guys can try your sports bra on. So clip that a little bit. So we can take these straps and you can just, I would safety pin them, or actually I guess if we're going to be altering them, you can do this pin on the outside. And I'm going to have to do this, since this one's for me, I'm going to need to test this one on my own. So you can pin it here, put the sports bra on, and just check to see the length of the strap. Now we made mine 2 inches longer, so it's good chance I'm going to have to remove that 2 inches, but I want to put this on my body and actually see where I need to adjust it. So if I need to, and we're able to adjust it in the front, so we can actually pull it as high as we want. And let's say we do have one shoulder that's a little bit more sensitive to the other, or we're a little lopsided, and we might actually need 2 different lengths of straps. Everybody's anatomy is different, so this is just a way that we can correct that. So we've got the straps there. And that's kind of where we're going to leave out. So when we're done, so your homework for the next time, we need to make sure we get the straps attached, and you want to adjust and figure out how much we're going to be needing, and then you can just chop it off. And then I'll finish up putting the straps on, and then getting that waistband on next week. And that should be, that'll wrap us up. Because there's not a whole lot more to do, but I want to show how we're going to clean finish the inside. So we can do everything at once. So, what?
Back to the camera. Huh?
You can point the camera at me, I guess. Let's see if, let's see, 3. Oh, you're not at me. Oh, I guess I can come over there.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Okay. Come over here. Oh, you've got my glasses on still. So, let's see if there's any other, let's see.
Hang on 1 second for improved audio.
Okay. So I'm doing things just a little bit different from how I did it in the instructions, and even how I did it in the other videos, and even including the Laurel. So the camera's shaking a little bit. Earthquake! So it'll stop shaking in just a second. Okay. Is it almost done?
I saw the video.
Oh, you did see the video? Okay. So but this is the way that I've actually been doing the last few ones that I've actually been sewing. I've been trying to clean finish everything and make it, and I actually do have some of the clean finished, but they're for my sister, and she may have taken them. I have no idea where they're at because this room is a disaster, so it might still be here somewhere. So I think I addressed a lot of, the strap, the adjustable strap. So if you want to do that, let's see if I have hardware here. I know I have a bag of hardware, so stay and make faces.
Can I help? Oh, there it is.
Okay. So I have a box of a whole bunch of just random hardware and supplies, and I've got the ones for the strap. So when you got the covered strap like this, so if you're doing the adjustable strap, so sorry about that. So if you're doing the adjustable straps, you actually don't really have to worry about checking the height like we just did. What you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to put your adjuster on it before you attach your strap. So forget we've already attached this right now. And we're going to take, and we want to, you're going to take it on your, with your strap, so the right side is going through that top bit, and then you have this coming down. Actually, what are we doing? Like to, and I just dropped that hardware.
There's more.
So actually, you do need to have it completely detached. There's a little trick you can do. So let's just say let me do it on this. Hopefully you can see it. I'll do it on the white, so you can see it white, even though the white's the wrong size. So we want to go, and you've got the correct side facing up. And we have this like here. You're going to take, and we're going to you're going to stitch this across right here.
Get the other camera over here so they can see better.
Let's see. That's right, because we don't have that camera. So can you see? So we've got, and then, ow, I just stabbed myself.
Yep, that will hurt.
No blood though. So what we're doing is we're taking, and this is exaggerated because this is obviously not the size elastic that would be on this slide. So you want to see that we've got, you know, the shiny side going kind of looped around that middle, and then you can stitch this down. So stitch it together, stitch it together with that little piece. You're going to adjust it. Okay. Once you've got that, that was a terrible cutting job. Once you have that, then you want to make your loop. So then you can take your loop, this is the longer side, we're going to go back over and back through this.
Yeah, I know how to do it. That's why I'm doing it. Many
That's right.
times.
We were going to do we have another slide we need. So this is going to be the one that's attached to the other end. So, let's just say we're going to have, that's right, because we were going to attach that. So I am remembering what we were doing, how I did it on the Laurel.
Raise it up more.
Huh?
Raise it up more.
So on the other side, you're going to have a little piece of your elastic that's going to be, not like that, that you're going to loop through the bottom. And so you're going to treat this like a ring.
Aww, I love it.
So you're going to treat this like a ring, so then this part can get attached inside here. I guess it depends if you want the adjuster in the back or the front. So you can have that, so it's kind of there. So it's like a ring, but just the slide, just the one side. And you want to have this prepped ahead of time. Then on the other piece, you're going to loop through this. Before you can go through this one again, we actually want to take and put this through the other side. So we're imagining that it is a ring, and then we can come through the one side and through the other side. So it's the elastic with the fabric is going to be a little bit snug in there. So once you get the two layers going in there, it's going to be really thick. So it's not going to really slide easily. So you're going to want to make your adjustments kind of like as soon as you put it on, or have somebody standing behind you adjusting it for you. Or, you know, it's just going to be a little bit of a challenge. You may have to take it off, adjust it a little bit, put it back on if you don't have somebody to help you out with that. But this is the idea of how you would use the wider slides with that. So this would go, in the front or the back, you would then do this all the way
Can't see
to,
it.
I know, I'm gonna hold it up.
Okay.
Then it's gonna kind of sit in place of this. But a slide is really easy to do. You just have to remember that that first part, you do stitch that down. You have to stitch that down before you kind of go any further. Attaching the ring, you could advise just cutting part of your clean finished strap and use the extra bit of strap elastic. If it's really long, you can certainly do that. And actually for, yeah, stop the noise, honey. Please, okay. You're making a lot of noise here. Daddy's not happy about it. So yeah, if you made yours, let's say 4 inches longer, I didn't account for that. You would probably need about 2 inches. So at least 1 inch up, 1 inch down to do that adjuster piece. You could also technically take, you know, this instead of actually having that other piece, take and pulling your fabric, hold on, I will show, through like that. So that way you have that. The little extra piece of elastic just gives you that little give. So you could always, if you have a little extra piece, I'd probably make it a little bit longer than 2 inches, probably 3, because you want to have at least 1 inch over so it's not too tight. And then you've got your little bit for seam allowance. That would be my recommendation for the adjustable straps.
I'm still making my beautiful thing.
Okay, let's see. Elastic with fitting, lifting the blade, be smart to avoid cutting the elastic. Yeah, if you can do that. I know some of the home machines can. The industrial ones don't. They're bolted in there. They don't move. But yeah, you could easily do that. That would probably be better, especially if you're not supposed to cut anything off. It'll make it easier. When you're doing, if you're going to end up finishing like we did the neckline on the armhole and not worry about the waistband when you sew it, you may end up having to cut something off on the armhole just so the strap fits correctly in there. But this is the way I've been doing mine. I've been clean finishing the neck, and then the armhole I'm just turning under, and it makes it finish a little bit better because you can kind of fold it as much as you need to right up against the strap.
No, don't.
So,
not yet.
you want to show what you're doing?
No, I want to finish it.
Well, honey, you're making a lot of noise. Yeah, see, she's using all my slides. Okay, that's it.
No, I'm not done.
I guess let me know if you need, if you want to know anything else, and I can always add something to next week's, because next week's we're going to finish up the strap, finalizing the strap, and if you want, I can actually prep some of the, some more of the fabric and the elastic to show you on the machine how I would sew that strap. So if you want to wait for that, we can do that. Just go ahead, Emily, stop talking over me. Prep a little extra strap with the elastic so then you can move right forward. And I can do that. Just let me know if that's what you would like to see. Other than that, we've got the waistband. We're almost done with it. I know I've dragged this out a lot more than it really takes. Like I can actually start and finish, cut and sew an entire one of these bras in an entire hour if I just do it straight. And it's taken us about 2.5 hours up to this point, but I'm giving a lot of extra instruction and I've had a lot of interruptions. Anyways, I think that is it for right now. So, Emily, it doesn't matter if you're done or not. My video is done. I'm done instructing for right now. Let everyone get back to their Saturday. Have a great Saturday. And remember, next Sunday, if you guys are in Florida, please come to the open house. There'll be a whole lot of different fabrics and a lot of elastics. And plus, I'd like to see your faces, even if I can't see the smile behind the mask. I can see your smiling eyes. But anyways, have a good day. Bye.
Look, it's beautiful.
You have to wait till we get to that point.
I think we gotta. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay.